Okay, so hello, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to discuss byte streams. Okay. So previously we discussed character stream, buffered stream. We also discussed a scanner for tokenization. So this time, let's see for structured data, because in the real world, that's a lot of scenarios structured data. Okay, like a database. Okay, database each record has a certain structure. Okay, and all of the records are repetitive as it uh, uh, repeat the same pattern. So those we call it structured data. And we can use ByteStream to work with them. Okay. Instead of everything, we use the tokenization, using scanner to do the tokenize. That's not efficient. Okay. So in the hierarchy for the stream, okay, character stream, by stream, and scanner is a hierarchy. So in this diagram, it shows. So we already discussed the character stream for reader and writer, and then later we discuss buffered reader and writer. Okay, file reader, file writer. Okay. In the scanner, we also discussed, and for the byte stream, okay, for structured data, we are going to use input and output stream, okay, those for byte. And of course, we also need to deal with the file input and file output, okay. And for the primitive data type, then we can use data input and data output. Okay, same thing, we can also use buffered. Okay, so next. Okay, so uh, for the structured data, okay, to deal with using byte stream, we first consider scenario of data streams. Okay, so there are two subtypes for the input and output stream. So both input and output stream deals with the file stream or byte streams. Okay, it's data input stream and data output streams. Okay, they can handle structured data. Structured data consists of primitive data type, like integer, float, boolean. Okay, and the strings. Then we don't. Once we know how to use structured data to handle, we don't need about the scanner for the tokenization. Okay. But one very important thing when we work with structured data is the contents must be read and write exactly the same structure. Okay. So the reading and writing must be aligned with the structure. Okay. We will see that in our example. Otherwise, it won't work if not aligned. Okay, and so in this chapter, we also provide two photos about the national park, and I visited it, and it's uh, awesome. Okay, gorgeous. Yeah, just a stunning view for this. And the water is a stunning blue. Okay, so what this national park is? And the answer is it's Crater Lake National Park. Yeah, the water is stunning. Okay, and what next we are going to go over? So let's take a look at the code. Example to have a better understanding of the byte stream, the data stream. And this example is a fourth example about data stream. Okay. So it's a data stream example. And what we do is we are going to write. So here are the record. So we have we have 5 students. Okay, we have their name, their major, their grades, letter grade, and passing or not. Okay, so different that we have string, we have integer, we also have Boolean, okay, primitive type. So we are going to write all of this into this file, okay, called student.txt. But you will see basically this file is not readable. Okay, because this over here we deal with byte string. It's not a character string. It's not readable. So byte. Okay. So we have the file, and so there's a file name. This is a file name. Okay. And then we have all of those array. Okay. Has all of the respective data. Okay. So if you think about this, it's more like a database. It's like a student record database. Okay. And then after that, we can call the read. So we write all this to the file, and then we are going to read everything from this file and output it. Okay. Let's see how this example handles, okay, the structured data using DataStream. So here we first have this method called that write data, okay? And because we are going to deal with the data, the byte structured is so we use this data output. We first try to write, okay? And it also deals with the file, okay? So we first associate the file with the file output string, okay? And then we associate this file output string to this data output stream, okay? And after that, if you see, so here we loop through the student record one by one, okay? And we write, so for the string, we do the write. If you see it, write UTF, okay? So write as a string format. And the grade is write integer. And the letter grade, write character. And passing on write Boolean, okay? And we write each record. So each record we store in one line. So that's why at the end we also provide the /n, okay, for the end of the line. So this is the writing part. And after that, and we also put off this handling in the try-catch block. Okay, because here it deals with file handling, so it's a checked exception. So we must handle it, or you need to declare it through the IO exception. Okay, so this is pretty similar. Okay, file found or not, input and output exception. Okay, and then also remember to close the respective resources, the file resource and the data output stream. So that's the writing part. And then what's next? Let's take a look. The respective reading part. Okay, so same thing, then we have the files and then we can read. Okay, so you need to have the respective data input stream and input stream for the file. And here we also going to concatenate them together for the string. So that's why we have the string builder. Okay, so here we deal with the data stream, data input stream for reading and associate with the file. Okay. And then we are going to read the name, major, grade, letter grade, and passing into their respective data type. what we did here is then to start reading, but this is a forever loop. This is how this forever loop is going to be broken. That how do we break it? Because anyway, this file only has 5 records. Is it? Okay, so if you see here it's respective write to ETF, then you need to call the read UTF, read int, read character, read boolean, and you need to match with the respective write something, okay? Exactly match and order, okay? Otherwise it won't work. So then you get the respective information, and then we can append all of them together using the string builder, okay? And this is just to consume that new line character. And similar here, we also needed to handle, so this is the end of file exception. Okay, because this over here is a forever loop, is it? Yeah, so whenever it reaches the end of the file, reaches the end of the file. Okay, it will come here. Okay, the end of file. And then this, as usual, is to handle the checked exception. And what else in this method? Yeah, we have the try catch block to take care of everything, and similar for those to the file one and uh, the the data one, okay, both of them, we need to close the respective resource, okay? And if everything goes fine, then we are going to return everything to the string. And here we have the running results. Yeah, if we take a look, we see finish writing it and the end of file and reading the file, okay, and you can see it output everything that what we need. So this does works. Okay, so then also let's take a look at that file, okay, that we read. If you take a look, did you see the file is not readable? Okay. So even though it's a plain text, is it because, okay, here it's a structured string. So that's why reading and write must match with each other. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay. Okay, so that's all for this chapter, and we will move to the next chapter in our next lecture. See you.